There is one thing narcissists desperately try to hide, and once you see it, you will never fall for their manipulation again. At first glance, narcissists appear confident, self-assured, and even charming. They know how to command attention, win people over, and make themselves seem superior. However, beneath the grandiosity and the arrogance lies a fragile truth they do not want anyone to uncover. Their entire persona is built on a foundation of deep-seated insecurity and fear. The moment you recognize what they are truly hiding, you gain the power to break free from their control. Narcissists are not as strong as they appear. Their greatest fear is being exposed for who they truly are, deeply insecure individuals who depend on external validation to maintain their fragile self-image. Despite their outward confidence, they are constantly battling an internal sense of inadequacy. Every action they take, every manipulation they use, and every relationship they cultivate is driven by the desperate need to conceal their greatest weakness, the belief that they are not enough. Their confidence is nothing more than a carefully crafted mask. Narcissists project an image of superiority and dominance to distract others from their own self-doubt. They exaggerate their achievements, demand admiration, and dismiss criticism, not because they truly believe they are better than everyone else, but because they cannot handle the thought of being perceived as weak or flawed. Any challenge to their self-image is met with defensiveness, rage, or even calculated revenge because, at their core, narcissists are terrified of being unmasked. This fear of exposure is what fuels their manipulative behavior. A narcissist will go to great lengths to control the people around them, ensuring that no one gets close enough to see the cracks in their facade. They create illusions, twist reality, and emotionally manipulate others to maintain their false sense of superiority. The moment someone begins to question their behavior or refuses to play into their game, the narcissist sees them as a threat that must be neutralized. Gaslighting is one of the most insidious tactics narcissists use to maintain control. It involves distorting facts, denying reality, and making the victim question their own memory and perception. A narcissist will lie about things they have said or done, dismiss their partner's feelings as irrational, and insist that events never happened the way they actually did. Over time, this psychological manipulation erodes the victim's confidence, making them more dependent on the narcissist for validation and guidance. In the beginning, narcissists often engage in love bombing, a tactic where they overwhelm their target with excessive praise, attention, and affection. They make their victim feel special, adored, and irreplaceable. However, once they feel secure in their control, the dynamic shifts. The narcissist begins to withdraw affection, criticize, and devalue their target. This sudden change leaves the victim confused, desperate to regain the affection they once received. The cycle of idealization and devaluation keeps the victim trapped, always trying to please the narcissist and avoid their disapproval. When confronted with their behavior, narcissists rarely take responsibility. Instead, they play the victim, twisting the narrative to make themselves appear innocent and misunderstood. They may exaggerate their hardships, blame others for their actions, or claim that they are being unfairly attacked. This tactic is designed to shift focus away from their own wrongdoing and elicit sympathy from those around them. By portraying themselves as the real victim, they manipulate others into defending them while simultaneously discrediting the person exposing their behavior. Another powerful weapon in a narcissist's arsenal is the silent treatment. When they feel challenged or slighted, they may abruptly withdraw all communication, affection, and attention. This emotional punishment leaves the victim feeling confused, anxious, and desperate to make amends, even if they did nothing wrong. The silent treatment reinforces the narcissist's control by making the victim believe they are responsible for fixing the situation, further deepening their emotional dependency. Recognizing a narcissist early can save you from emotional exhaustion and manipulation. One of the biggest red flags in relationships and friendships is their excessive need for admiration. At first, they may shower you with praise and attention, making you feel incredibly special. However, as time passes, their charm begins to feel one-sided. Conversations become centered around them, and your feelings or achievements are often dismissed or minimized. If you notice someone constantly seeking validation while showing little genuine interest in others, it is a major warning sign. Narcissists also test boundaries in subtle ways. They may joke at your expense, make backhanded compliments, or pressure you into doing things that make you uncomfortable. If you call them out, they will either dismiss your concerns as overreactions or turn the situation around to make you feel guilty. This gradual erosion of your self-confidence and personal boundaries is how they establish control. The more you accommodate them, the more power they gain over you. One of the most telling signs of a narcissist is how you feel after spending time with them. Instead of feeling uplifted, you often feel emotionally drained, confused, or even anxious. This is because narcissists thrive on emotional manipulation. They create an environment where you are constantly second-guessing yourself, trying to meet their ever-changing expectations. If you frequently leave interactions feeling exhausted or unappreciated, it may be time to reevaluate that relationship. The most effective way to protect yourself from a narcissist is by setting firm boundaries that they absolutely hate. Narcissists expect constant access to your time, emotions, and attention. When you refuse to engage in their mind games or set limits on what you will tolerate, they become frustrated. They may try to guilt trip you, create drama, or push your buttons to provoke a reaction. However, standing your ground and reinforcing your boundaries will weaken their hold over you. One of the most powerful tactics to disarm a narcissist is indifference. Narcissists feed on strong emotional reactions, whether it is admiration, anger, or fear. When you stop reacting emotionally to their provocations, they lose interest. If they insult you, respond with a neutral, uninterested tone. If they try to bait you into an argument, refuse to engage. By denying them the emotional fuel they crave, you strip them of their power over you. Above all, narcissists fear people who see through their facade. They rely on deception and manipulation to maintain control, but once you recognize their tactics, they become powerless. The moment you stop seeking their approval and refuse to be manipulated by their tactics, they will either attempt to reassert control or move on to someone more susceptible. Either way, you will have broken free from their influence. You know their dark secret. You have the power to break free. Narcissists operate in the shadows, using deception and manipulation to control those around them. But knowledge is your greatest weapon. By recognizing the red flags, setting firm boundaries, and refusing to play their games, you can protect yourself from their toxic influence. Do not let them control you. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. The more people understand how narcissists operate, the less power they have over others. If you found this insightful, let me know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more content on protecting your mental and emotional well-being.